How's it going, y'all?
Hello, everybody.
How's it going, everyone?
Hello.
Exciting week. Postseason started. We got play-ins done this week, just barely. Some big wins, some big losses for some people.
Shut up.
Looking at you, KBR.
You don't even play this league. I can't. You can't give me shit.
But yeah, how's y'all been doing this week?
Good,
Pretty good.
Pretty
solid.
relaxed.
Mhm.
Pretty relaxed, waiting to know who my adversary is in playoffs. Now I know,
Yeah.
and
I mean, I beat Artemis, so I'm happy.
yeah, some positives, some negatives, but I mean, at least I don't have to play KBR now.
You're welcome.
You're
For
guaranteed
Artemis.
at
Thank
least
you.
I
round
was the
two.
second coach. I wish I was there for him.
I don't.
He got first pick in the draft, so I don't think he's going to be crying that much next
I think
season.
he's guaranteed. Is he guaranteed first pick or is it lottery?
It's still lottery for next season, but
Oh, he's not guaranteed. He could be fourth.
Yeah, no, no.
he could get fourth, but there's a really good chance he get first. Unless Ouchie gets it, in which case I'm winning. I'm feasting straight up.
Okay. Whatever.
You want to introduce yourself to the people, Dakota?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Dakota. I was the second coach for Twin Lift Titans. Partnered up with Artemis. I'm hoping to get a spot in the main league here soon. I'm playing in the open house tournament right now. So
You're not too far off. You only need to get like at minimum another win to like 50-50, and then if you get two more wins, you pretty much secure a spot there.
yeah. Unfortunately, I got taken out yesterday by Picanor. He 2-0'd me. And then I played Gamer today. Possibly, I still gotta set that matchup up. And then I play my buddy here, Built by Rock, next. So
Yeah.
I gotta I gotta make sure I don't reveal too much to make sure I can secure my spot. But hopefully, out of the two matchups that I get, I can get at least one more win.
Heck yeah. But yeah, I guess we got to do shout outs now. We got some big shout outs
Yes.
for some big people. Shout out to Happy for making his way into playoffs after losing that first game to Spanish. He really pulled it out his ass too, like straight up. But hey, I'm gonna congratulate him because
He,
he's working for that spot. He's
he
trying to
played.
keep
He
his
played a
team.
good game. Honestly, that Entei was amazing. I loved the smart play. I had a +4 Magirna, but it was paralyzed, so I couldn't really do anything about it.
Yeah, and we don't have the replay unfortunately, so you'll just have to take our word for it. But
Yeah, I blame Clomps for not saving it. But let's go through the next part. Let's go to the next.
I mean, to be honest, I'm gonna add a little something to the Epi shout out because to be honest, I was one of the people who didn't believe in Epi. Like for example, in the Epi Artemis matchup, I believed Artemis was gonna win, so I gave good shout out because they worked for it. Didn't no one not many expected them to do it, but good job on it.
yeah,
I had him on my.
Happy has a long ways to go still. He's still got to try and win a series out of facing our friend here, PCR. That's a tough ask, regardless of anybody. But if he wins the series, he gets to keep the Hustlers for another season guaranteed. And that puts us in a weird spot with the open house tryouts, but it'll just mean the second round of open house will be more important for both of y'all. Right? Our second shout out's gonna go to Spanish because he also made playoffs. He beat Happy in first round and he advanced to play G for Gamer. That was my dream matchup for this playoffs, so I'm really happy about that. Any thoughts on that, y'all? Any congratulations for Spanish?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
even though
very
like
excited.
congratulations for making the obvious. Like we made playoff brackets prediction last week, and we all
Yeah,
got Spanish
everybody
passing
had
through
chance.
that match.
Yeah.
So like, congrats for not bottling it, because that's what there was a risk there for it. But like, congrats to Spanish for making playoffs again.
I'm still pretty new to the league, and I just learned about the rivalry between Spanish and Gamer. So I'm pretty
Yeah,
excited myself to see how it goes.
I am
yeah,
really
that's their
hoping
matchup.
that it goes to a game five because that would be the most hype series that this league ever sees for a long time. Just straight up. But yeah, I
Yeah, I hope they
think
stream it live.
Ooh, yeah.
We were gonna stream it live, except I didn't have any announcers for it. So I'm gonna try to work a little bit on it. But if we get to a game 5, I will be streaming it live.
100%.
That's
We
you
can
have.
stream
We
it,
will be there.
We
But
just talk over it.
But yeah, we got one more shout out, and that's to G4Gamer for beating Spanish in his first game of that series.
Yeah,
It was a really convincing win. He imposed his will on Spanish's team just immediately, and it wasn't really in reach for Spanish to win at all.
Yeah, I
after
mean,
that
he made a
first turn.
early mistake, let the Ndidi die too fast, didn't even have him as a Terra captain. That's just a mistake you can't make in the DLP.
Yeah, it's just especially when you're
Especially
playing
against
gamer.
Gamer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gamer
especially-
is just.
Maybe against
is-
me you could do that, but not gamer.
100%.
Unfortunately true.
But
Yeah.
yeah, shout out to Gamer. He's taken a commanding 1-game lead in the series, and I'm hoping to see him pull it out his ass.
I'm not.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
Oh, you
Y'all
won't be
are
upset,
rivals.
I need a perfect bracket, you know?
You're not getting the perfect bracket, but keep dreaming.
No one else is. I'm the only one left.
Yeah,
Well,
true.
of the perfect bracket.
That's okay.
I think.
That's okay. Yeah. Any shout outs that y'all have for anybody in the league?
I just want to give a
No,
quick
no.
shout out to Artemis just for letting me tag along being his second coach this season. And unfortunate that he lost his match this week, but hey, good job this year.
Yeah, I mean he's
I know he kind of inherited a draft that
It's
was
not good.
less than ideal.
Not a
And
good draft at all.
I also inherited that less than ideal situation, and so it was.
But I really
was
respect him for playing it out. He beat me once. I'm very excited to see him with a real team this time. Next
Yeah, I
season.
think that if he gets a real team that he drafted, I think he'll do really well. Because
Yeah, I'm very.
when I was looking at it, I was like, yo, like 2/3 of this team is weak to fighting. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had our shortage of Artemis praise on the podcast, obviously, but yeah, I support Artemis and I hope he does good in the next season. I'm gonna let KBR take it away with the open house tryouts discussion.
Ooh, it's a very exciting one. Okay, so the first coaches that are playing currently for the open tryouts are Gamer, me, Pevrel, Spanish, and Picanor. For the tryout coaches, we have Ouchie, Transcended, Happy, our friend Dakota here, who's already on the podcast, and Hize, who hasn't played yet. So is Transcend. I don't think. Okay, so we're gonna start with who hasn't played yet. Transcended and Hize have not played yet. None of their games have been completed, so we don't really have much for them.
Mm-hmm.
Ouchie has 4 of his 5 opponents, but he hasn't played Pevro yet, which is his big challenge. But he's only Picanor's taken to him game 3 so far, so he's like beating them in like clean sweeps everybody else. And it's just Picanor who hasn't who took him to a game 3, and then he has to play Pevro next.
Mm-hmm.
For Dakota, he's beaten Pevro in Spanish, both in 3 games, and then he lost to Picanor. I think that's really impressive that he beat Pevro still. I'm very excited to see him in the DLP if he gets there, if he gets to this first coaches league. Otherwise, it's gonna be a really impressive season. Like it's gonna be Picanor season if he doesn't get to the first coaches league.
Yeah.
yeah, Picanor.
Because, like, to be honest, Dakota, like, you're there, beating Peverell is already something that not many
Yeah.
people have done. Like, 2 people have done it in this league, so
Yeah,
the third
Yeah, he
one,
was my first
you know,
opponent too.
yeah.
So I
We
was
just gotta
like,
see if Ouchie. We just gotta see if Ouchie does it now. You'd have the perfect open tryouts if he beats Pevro.
Mm-hmm.
I know, yeah, he's the one I'm like scared of. I'm like, damn it, I gotta beat this guy. That's why I'm saying I know I've got I have 2 more matches to play, and I need to get at least 1 more win.
Yeah.
Just to be able to keep up with him. So I know he's
Mhm.
definitely my top competition right now.
Yeah.
And I know the other guys are good as well, and Transcendent hasn't played, so
Transcendent
gotta
and Hize hasn't played, but Hize has. They both have weird schedules.
right, yeah, I know. I was trying to pace myself a little bit at first, but coming on here, I wanted to try and get as much.
Yeah, Transcendent's always busy, I
examples
think,
as
and then
possible out
I
there.
think Hize's in Asia.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
hard to work with. I play in some other leagues, and there's some people in India, and it's hard to get
Schedule them.
matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Anybody have any other
basically more than, it's like 10 hours time difference from, like,
11? Yeah. for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one person's playing in the morning, one's playing at night, kind of thing. Can't really aim for the middle
Yeah.
of the day.
Okay.
I will
Do we have any
say
open tryouts?
for Dakota to feel really safe about being in contention for second or first coach, you do want to try to win your next 2 games. That is just a non-negotiable, because if you drop one, that's going to put you in a lot of 50-50 situations with a lot of these other coaches in the tourney.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's going to be really important that you can lock in at least 2 more wins here to just
I
secure
think
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, and I know my next 2 opponents are tough too. I know Gamer is really good, and I'm gonna be revealing some of my secrets a little bit to my next opponent too. But
But yeah, if you get into a 50-50 situation, right, here's what's happening, right? You have to play tiebreakers.
Yeah.
gotcha.
And I don't
Ooh.
know if you really want to get to the point where you have to play those tiebreakers, because really that's just going to put you in a more stressful spot than you could otherwise do, right?
Right, yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, any opinions on the attorney? Is it like,
So far, I've seen a lot of work from Garganackle here in Dakota's tournament.
I
How do we
love
feel about it?
Garganackle, yeah. I knew that was definitely gonna catch people off guard.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's one of those Pokemon. I love its ability, and um, it was one of those Pokemon that I was trying to make work for the longest time, and I couldn't really get it to work. It's always kind of in an awkward situation. You almost want to give it an assault vest because it's lacking on the special side, but then you can't use like recover and stealth rocks and like the things that you really want to use with Garganackle. And then I saw someone win a tournament down in Mexico with Garganackle, and the item that they used was the Moringa Berry. And the Moringa Berry activates after a special attack. It gives it a special defense boost, so it essentially acts as an assault vest after taking a special attack. So I I kind of can just wall out a lot of things with its physical defense, and then with its special defense getting boosted after that. Um, it's trained to be able to survive um, expanding force. I can recover on the first turn of expanding force,
mm-hmm.
and I'll get my special defense boost, and then I'll recover after it, and now I can start laying my traps down. And then I also another really fun tech piece that I like to run on my King Gambit is red card. So if there's anything super threatening on the field, I can swap in my King Gambit to kind of eliminate things. And it's also I like to put traps down, so toxic spikes and stealth rocks are out there, and assault cure. It creates a lot of pins. It just puts a timer on a lot of things, and it creates a lot of pressure on my opponent. So it's a difficult team to make work. But when it does work, it works. It's really fun.
I was
And
gonna
that's
say,
kind of what I'm going for.
sorry for cutting you off there, but I was gonna say I was running a very similar team comp to what you were, but for Reg H, the first batch they had when they released the Reg H schedule, and it is a really hard team to pilot. Like you have to really think about every move you're gonna make, because one wrong move, you just automatically lose all the momentum, right?
Yeah, and especially if you lose your Garganackle too early and you haven't set up or like done enough damage with it,
Mm-hmm.
it takes the whole team out.
Because really, what Garganackle wants to do here, right, is it wants to put as much pressure on these Pokemon that are on the field, you know? And if it goes down, you lose a major part of your strategy. And
Right.
I love how you pivoted to the 6v6 format and you were utilizing those traps and those uh, toxic spikes and stuff, right?
I think it works a lot better because I do play a lot of VGC like 4v4 drafts, and terrain and hazards and things like that, or sorry, not terrain, but hazards don't seem to be as effective in the 4v4 because there's not as much switching and the
Mm-hmm.
games don't last as long. But in the 6v6 format, if my opponent doesn't have a poison type on their team, toxic spikes or even stealth rocks at the beginning of the game, it's so valuable. Especially the earlier you can get it set, the more value you're going to get out of it.
Mm-hmm. 100%. I think we've seen similar concepts in VGC as well, with like Glamora was a big thing early in the Gen 9 meta. And, I'm just happy to see people utilizing the 6v6 format correctly, especially as a singles player primarily. Um, I know entry hazards are pretty looked down upon in the doubles community.
Right. Yeah. It seems I've never played singles like competitively, not outside of like the cartridges or the games or anything, but in singles it does seem to be pretty standard to have
Mm.
entry hazards. And yeah, that was something that I wanted to incorporate on at least one of my teams because I think that's more valuable in the 6v6 format.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah, the biggest use of like toxic spikes has always been like Grimora's ability, paired most of the times with Dondozo Tatsugiri. So basically, like just a stall, basically just as much as you can with the Dondozo powered up.
Yeah,
But
and
like apart from that,
Sneasler's really fun
yeah.
because a lot of people are expecting a really fast fake out on turn one.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't have a fake out their self, then I can just put toxic spikes down turn one and I might just force them to protect just because they're scared of a fake out, you know?
They have to
So it's like
respect it.
just the psychological value of having Sneasler on the field and then surprising them with something is a value on its own.
Mm-hmm. And I really do commend you for utilizing all this stuff, because I think a lot of things that new players get into the habit of doing is they think too outside the box, right? You're right in the right area of the box where it's creative enough to win you games, right?
Right. Yeah, and
Um,
then the other team that I really love is my the Tyranitar team. That team I was kind of built to take on some of the meta, and I was expecting to see a lot of meta in this tournament, and I feel like it's been handling that really well, like Raging Bolt, Torkoal Sun, things like that.
mhm.
The Ninetale Salona.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like Tyranitar is a really good weather setter. Even like against like opposing like rain teams, he does really well because it's typically Pelipper that you see on a rain team, and it's still gonna eat those rock slides really hard, you know. So it can do well
Mhm.
even in bad matchups.
Okay, I think we need to get to discussions now because
Can I ask one more question from Dakota?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have anything you wanted to say to your opponents? Anything kind, hope, kind preferably, but
No, I think that everyone has been super respectful through the tournament. I've had some really fun conversations, and I've had a lot of fun. Picanor was the one who beat me, and after our first game, I think we were actually a little both surprised by the outcome of that, and we had a little chat about I probably one turn before I probably should have
Mhm.
isolated his Chien Pao, but other than that, like it was just a really fun game. It was a close match, and like I said, we were both kind of surprised by the outcome of it.
Yeah. Again, I do appreciate having you on here. It is a big step, I think, for the podcast to start having guests.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to show my face and make my appearance to the league. I do want to. I mean, even if I don't make it into the main league as a spot, I hope that I can at least pique someone's interest to pick me up as a second coach and have me string them
100%.
along. You know.
Like if you don't make it to first coaches league, like you're the hottest prospect for second league, to be honest,
Yeah.
as of now, because like you're there. Like we already
I
had
mean,
a
I would say
a
like
second league season with a perfect score. Let's see.
I would absolutely accept like a second coach, and I think it would help me a lot. But I do think that I'm at that skill level where I'm only really gonna progress and get better if I'm the one piloting the team. You
Hmm.
know.
Yeah, fair enough.
And that's why
Everyone has to
I
believe it.
try to give players, the ability to prove themselves, right? I think it's
Oh, definitely.
important for players' growth to be able to prove themselves against different skill levels. And so far, I think you've done a pretty good job.
Thank you, appreciate it. And I think the spot should go to the people that deserve them the most. I'm not saying
Hmm.
that I should step in front of everyone, but do really want that spot. I'm gonna try and prove myself as much as I
You
can.
gotta earn it. But yeah, game recaps. These are gonna be play-in recaps. I will get to playoff recaps for round 1 next week's episode.
Yeah.
But here's what we have. We don't really have replays for all of them, so I'm just gonna go through real quick and talk about what happened. When the Artemis KBR matchup, KBR took a pretty commanding offensive lead early. It got a little dicey in the middle to late game, but KBR did end up pulling out that win. And
Yeah, I think. What are you saying?
it was a convincing win from KBR in the end.
Yeah, I think Artist played well though, for sure.
In the top of the bracket, Happy versus Spanish. Spanish just belt to ass. There was
That's
no.
what you expect Spanish though.
there was no rival there.
That was. I mean, that
Um,
was what we said was gonna happen. To be honest,
Yeah.
though. So
Do you
It's
think
not
that will happen next game too? Do you expect that?
With Spanish, you
I
really.
mean,
not
yes.
really. It's Gamer and Spanish are close together.
yeah. There's a chance. I mean, there's a chance depending on the day that Gamer might trio. Because
Yeah.
if Spanish
Do you
has a
think that this
couple
is
of
gonna-
games
do you
where
think
he's
this will
not
fire up
involved.
Spanish so that he comes back with a vengeance, or do you think that he's just gonna be scared now?
No,
and-
because
No,
I
he's
think
going
it's
back.
a 50-50. Like every time you play Spanish, throw a coin, heads or tails. That's if you get the good Spanish or the bad Spanish. There's two
Yeah.
Spanish.
It's
There's
really
throwing Spanish and there's real Spanish.
like if it was up to me, I would say I would love for Spanish to take another win to keep this series going and get closer to a game 5. But yeah, you just never know with Spanish, right?
I mean, as we all know, Clomps hates game 5s.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
No
yeah,
one likes game 5 here.
recaps for round 2 of play-ins versus KBR and Happy.
Oh, look, he got slammed.
Only in the back half of the
he,
game.
Only in the back half. I was leading for a while, and then he sent out Entei, which basically countered the rest of my team. Which really sucks. I had a +4 Magirna, but the +4 Magirna was paralyzed, so he one-tapped the Magirna. I really just couldn't do anything after that.
Yeah.
So how that game went, just real quick, was KBR took a lead early in the game with momentum. He was up 5-3 at one point, and then
Yeah.
when that Entei switched in at the halfway point, that's when the momentum really swung the complete opposite way in Happy's favor, and Happy cleaned up with a Flare Blitz Entei.
Yeah, I mean, that Entei was really good, and then once Entei was on the field, I really couldn't do anything. I couldn't really build momentum again.
Yeah, and that's just something you're gonna have to work on the off season, but.
I don't
Did
think
he
I could
remove
have
what
very
you
well.
had to counter his Entei?
No, I just couldn't bring it on the field without it dying at that point because he had a Lunala app as well.
He just
Which is
forced KBR to choose, and KBR did not choose.
I just chose wrong.
There was no right answer in that
There
situation.
was no right choice.
There was also another Uber on the field, which was Lunala, which was a menace all season.
It really has.
Lunala is at the wall.
And
I remember I was playing in the random tournament, and I was when we all got assigned each other's teams, and I played against the Lunala team, and it just that thing just walled me. I couldn't get past.
Yeah, same thing happened to me, except it just it just destroyed me this time. I really couldn't do anything.
Lunala is one of the Ubers that is just a matchup check sometimes.
Yeah.
I
like,
lost the matchup check.
Like if you have stuff to deal with Lunala, like it looks bad Lunala. That if you don't, like it's the best Pokemon ever.
I mean, I hadn't Primarina, but I'm pretty sure he just electric attacked me with the dog again.
For reference here, Lunala carried the team of the Hustlers with 17 KOs, 7 faints, and it played all 10 weeks.
Yeah, and most of those weeks were not happy, but still, those were purples, right?
I mean, it's also
And that's only 17
like-
kills. I mean, how many assists did that thing get?
yeah,
So many.
so many.
and also
You have to respect
the
it.
fact with Lunala, it like the move pool is so large Like you don't know what you're getting when you're playing against it.
Yeah,
Like
you
it
don't
has
know how to
Tailwind,
prepare for
Trick
it.
Room, Meteor Beam, Moonblast, Psycho Shock.
The only
Like
thing
you don't know. Like it has
Wide
like
guard.
7 viable moves at least. Yeah,
I think,
Wild Card is a big
Yeah,
one.
it
what?
can
Like
be a support Pokemon. It
You
can
know
be
what?
attack.
I just realized this. If I had Primarina instead of Gengar on the field, I think I could have won that.
Probably.
But that's just thinking about it in the future, you know.
It's easier to think about it after it's done, you know.
Yeah.
you'll get them next time.
I will.
But yeah,
I will get one in the season.
that's how game recaps went. Sponsor?
Ooh, yeah. It's today's sponsor is actually Magikarp Fishing Company. They've been catching Magikarp since 1996, actually, when Pokemon first launched. You know, it's an eco-friendly company. We do ethical fishing in this company. It's a lot of catch and release and catch and eat, but we don't talk about that part. And they've caught the most. They actually did catch the most shinies in 2025.
Really?
Yes, they actually got the most shiny Magikarps.
That's a proven stat?
That's a proven stat.
Oh. Well, any thoughts on the sponsor, y'all?
I would like to get my hands on one of those shinies. Gyarados is
Ooh,
actually
yeah.
my favorite Pokemon.
I think I can get you today's code DLP for 30% off your next order.
30%?
DLP. That's a lot.
We got a good deal.
Yeah, we get good deals around here. With our sponsors. They love us.
Alrighty, y'all. So next up we have playoffs keys to games. I'm gonna start off with the Spanish versus Gamer series.
It's the most anticipated one, so
It is for sure.
I been working on this for a while. I've been looking at their replays and their team composition all week, and I think I've got it down to a science. I'm gonna start with the Mesagoza performers. I think one of the biggest things with the Mesagoza performers is being able to abuse their support like Volcarona Incin, and it's been proven to be a very integral part to their strategy, right?
I mean, it's their identity for the team. It's their support mons.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's always been their identity since even last season.
yeah, I think a big part of this matchup goes on like the prep that Spanish will do for the games, because we saw the first game already, and like the prep seemed good but not good enough. Like there was a demoted Indeedee from the Terra
Yeah.
captains, and that gave Gamer a free Dark Pulse into that slot we saw in game 1.
On
There
first
was
turn.
probably no Trick Room on the Kali Ice because we didn't see it pressed, so we don't know if it was there or not, but there might be a chance it wasn't. So
I
it
mean, I
depends
doubt
on like how. Yeah, it depends on how can they set up Trick Room, when do they set up Trick Room, and with who's on the field. How can they maximize the Kali Ice, basically, because that's the biggest Pokemon they have. The Groudon is going to be very important too, because there's a lot of fire types on Gamer's team.
And I think my
100%.
big thing on why I don't think he had Trick Room on the Kali Ice is because he already had 2 other Trick Room mons that were able to set up Trick Room.
Mm-hmm.
It was Indeedee and the other one that actually set up the game.
I think it's a psychological war. I think you gotta get in your opponent's head.
Yeah.
You gotta be in the DMs before the game starts, you know.
I think Spanish is good at that, but I don't know if he's gonna do well this time. We don't know yet.
I mean, if you're playing hard Trick Room like Spanish has been for 2 seasons at this point, like you know every turn 1 you play, it's basically the most important turn of the game most of the times.
Yeah, you want to set that Trick Room up as soon as possible. You want to maximize as much damage as you can output it inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's such a short
yeah, and
window.
Stuff like Mental Herb or Terra Dark to avoid pranksters, stuff like that. Like that's you should be
especially in a 6v6 format. Like you can set up 2 Trick Rooms in like with the length of the games, because like we've had long games this seasons. And especially with Trick Room, like there's a lot of protects. The games get long, so maybe 2 Trick Rooms might be nice. And like
I think in 6v6
the
format,
Terra usage is going to be.
I think in 6v6 format, you definitely want to have 2 forms of speed control. You know, whether it be 2 Trick Room setters, a Trick Room and a Tailwind, or even like a Trick Room and like a weather, like a a weather abuser. Like you definitely, the games just last so much longer that you need to have speed control throughout the entire game.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we did not see a psychic surge from the Indeedee last time either.
Yeah, we've seen Spanish really run like no psychic surge in certain situations because he wants to be able to
He wants to
utilize those fake out options on his team.
I think he's trying to get a little too creative, personally.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
think going off of what Dakota said, I think I've always split up 6v6 doubles into two parts, right? I think you have the start of the game and you have the back half of the game, right? You want to have strategies that can fill out those slots that you need. Because having momentum in the first half is important, but generally you aren't going to be able to carry all of that momentum from the first half into the second half.
You can be able to close the game.
Being able to close it is very important, and I think for any team in this league, regardless of the matchups, I think you want to kind of go and look at your matchups in that way. KBR, PCR, any thoughts on that?
No.
Is that
Like it's just that last season, for example, we've had both 6v6 and 4v4 formats because like post-season was 4v4 and 6v6 the regular season. And like we saw the difference on them that was pretty big because like
Yeah.
the 4v4 format you have another variable which is which four are you bringing? Like you're making a 6-man team, but like you can only bring four. In the 6v6 games instead, like it's mostly just okay, I need to get a good lead, but like I don't have to leave anyone out. Like everything I've prepped actually matters.
Well, in
yeah?
6v6, every Pokemon it has a chance to interact with each other. In
Yeah.
4v4, you have a chance of like you're not going to bring these two mons together. But in 6v6, you're bringing all six of them together. So your team composition has to be throughout the entire six.
It's got to be very well-rounded for sure.
Right.
I think my next point for gamers' keys to the games was like protecting the turtle. Really is a big part of it. I think we've seen it all season, but Terapagos really is the facilitator for the Mezagoza performers, right?
Yeah.
It's just if gamer doesn't mind that pressure, he at least needs to keep Terapagos up, right? Because Terapagos is going to keep him in the game regardless of the situation on the field, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the Terra Shell, being able to do Terra Starstorm, Terra that. That's just, I think it's really an important part to G4Gamer's game, and if he doesn't stay true to it, he will lose a couple games in this series.
For
Yeah.
sure.
The difficult part will be having basically two Ubers that are physical attackers against him. Because we've seen a lot of times Gamer going for that Calm Mind Terapagos, just wall every special attack and then use some redirection or other stuff to redirect the physical attackers to Volcaron or someone else. But like there's basically three big threats to through Terapagos, the two Ubers, Groudon and Kali Ice. And then we have also the Conkeldurr, which are big threats to Terapagos, and like it's gonna be probably a protect the president type of game at some point. One of these two or more games we will have, it's gonna be a protected Terapagos because he's gonna try to get some boost and then get the kills.
Do you guys think that it would be better for him to set up Terapagos at the beginning of the game or try to clear some threats and then set up Terapagos?
I think Gamer's Terapagos really thrives cleaning up. You know how I said two parts of the game? It's the
Right.
back half. You want to keep it for the back half because it cleans up the rest of the board.
You don't want it to die too early either.
Because if, like I said, if the turtle goes down, all that momentum is just washed away, and it gives your opponent a new breath of life in that offense.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah,
And
also Gamer has the tools to deal with it. He has two Intimidate Pokemons. I mean, the two most iconic Intimidate Pokemons, Lando T and Incineroar. So, like, he has the stuff to do it. And if someone can stop Spanish, it's him, probably.
Yeah, just cycle the Incineroar with Parting Shot and Lando in, so you get
Yeah,
this.
it's... Like, if you're not prepared for Gamer, it feels suffocating.
Well, then in that case, I think Spanish should probably consider running like a something to block his intimidates.
It would definitely
Yeah.
be wise, but you never know in a best of
Yeah,
5
one of
series.
his Ubers is gonna be clear amulet every game, I think.
Clear Amulet, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah, thank you.
But like the problem is the other one is not gonna.
Right.
So it's a choice. Who are you gonna? But I mean, the biggest candidate for it is probably Kali Ice because it's also his Terra option. The Terra Dragon might be good on this game unless you're against Terrapagos.
Hmm.
So might be that one the biggest threat against gamers. So might be that the clear amulet choice. But also Groudon can get like it's a good Pokemon in this matchup as far as I think.
Yeah, I think that really does hit the nail on the head there. I think the last point I really have for Gamer is to minimize those mistakes. I think we saw it especially in that week 7 loss. He didn't play his best, and it really cost him when it mattered. He shotgunned his Terra early. He had a wrong item on it, right? Just all those little things amounted in a loss just because they kept stacking up over time. That goes for really anybody, like even Spanish. I think that was one of my key points for Spanish, especially because he's more accident prone. You just gotta minimize those mistakes where you can. You don't want to give your opponent more than you're putting out, right?
100%.
I've noticed that
Um,
sometimes when I'm playing opponents make that try to make wild calls or like big reads, the more you stay to your fundamentals and just play clean lines, the better you play against them.
And I agree. That's kind of my philosophy when I'm playing competitive, like singles, doubles. Stick to your fundies, right?
Yep.
Fundies are what you build your basis off of. You set the field and you start making reads whenever the game really gets going. That's when you can make reads. You don't make reads right off the rip. You don't make reads when you don't know. You got to weigh the chances, right? Weigh the
Depends
percentages,
on the
and
matchup. If
yeah,
the matchup
like
is bad, you can go
Oh yeah.
wild. Like, what are you losing? Nothing.
Yeah.
If the matchup is a 50-50, yeah, wait a bit. Let's see where this is going, you know?
But yeah, that's always been my philosophy. Play it safe until you have to really dig into your bag of tricks, you know? Even in those like really bad matchups, I try to find the safest options until I have to really weigh the 50-50s, you know?
Right.
It's really big. But yeah, I think we'll move on to the keys for Kanto Karaidon.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think one of the major keys I have for Kanto is play into the pressure. His team, it wants to put pressure off immediately. It wants to really make their opponents pay for a slow start. And if you don't, you're going to have a really hard time in that second half of the game. It's going to make it really hard. We saw it in this game 1 of the series. And yeah. Any thoughts on that?
No.
No? All right. Another thing, and we talked about this in the episode already, but abuse your trick room.
Yeah.
Abuse that trick room, because if you don't abuse your trick room, you give gamer the ability to just spam Chi-Yu Koraidon on you over and over
Oh
again.
yeah. She's a scary one.
Mm-hmm.
If we're done, we can go to pick'ems here on this team, on this
No,
matchup.
we can go pick'ems.
Yeah, we just got to pick
Do we
this
go
matchup.
to? Do we say the score too?
Yeah,
Nah,
you can. You
if you
can
want to.
say the score if you want.
Okay. Who
Okay.
starts?
I'll let KB go.
Uh, I'm thinking a game 5 to Spanish.
Game 5 to Spanish is kind of wild.
Yeah.
We sure
He's gonna
about
take.
that?
He's gonna take 2 games. He's gonna lose a game, and he's gonna win it.
Hmm.
I want to have a creative pick at least. I want to be fun. I'm not
Creative.
sure about it, but I'm not sure about gamer winning either. So I'm gonna take Spanish 5.
I think I'll go next, and I'm giving Gamer in 4.
Okay.
I think Gamer has a lid on this game, or on this series, and I think he's gonna clean up pretty easily. I think I'm giving Spanish some wiggle room to take a game off him, but other than that, yeah, I think Gamer in 4 is my updated prediction and pick'ems.
Oh, that's fair enough. I don't know what's happened in this game very much because it's a
Sure.
really interesting series.
Mm-hmm. Peace, sir.
I don't have
I
a
guess I'll
dog
go
in this race,
next.
so I'm just gonna say
Oh,
that
go.
Gamer 3-0s him.
I think that's the most
To
safe
be honest,
option.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
safest. I don't want to be safe.
I don't know if it's the safest. Maybe the 3-1 is safer
I think
option.
3
Because at
3
least you're giving a... Yeah, 3-1 is safer. 3-0, like 3-0, like you're going for it. You know, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is over. This is over. Like, I'll go 3-1 for Gamer. Just because I think, like, in another trick room matchup, like, even Gamer, one game you can sleep up. Like, you can.
You know what?
You can sleep up. Like, you get one turn wrong, you lost the game. So, 3-1 for me.
You know what? I'm actually gonna go 3-2 gamer.
Yeah.
I can't believe that much after the first game.
Not you. If you're saying Gamer, the whole Spanish shop is lost.
No, Spanish has himself to hope in himself. Okay, I think a 3.
Like, you're
It's
the,
gonna be 3-2 either way. I don't know who's gonna win. I want to take gamer as a safer option. I'm gonna say gamer
like
safer
you
option.
have been more confident in this matchup than Spanish himself.
I know. I can't be confident in Spanish as much as anymore. I think you take 2 games, at least, maybe 3. It's a very 50-50 matchup for me still. That's how confident I can be right now.
Alright, so here's what we're gonna do since I didn't actually get to make the keys to games for PCR and Happy because they didn't get their game done until very late. I think Montenegro automatically just wins this by default. We've seen it twice. He just has the answer to the Castelia Hustlers. It's not that the Hustlers draft is bad, it's just that PCR has enough to beat him, right? And you see it in different forms, right? You see Ho-Oh, you see Maridon, you see Rillaboom. Just really good utility. And then if he wants to force the Tail Room or the Tailwind, he can do Roaring Moon pretty easily as well. Ogerpon really locks up with Follow Me. We see a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then if Happy tries to get cute and do Trick Room, he has Farigiraf, right?
Yeah.
It's just really all he needs. I think the key to the game for Montenegro really is just play like you've been playing.
Yeah, there's no real switch up you need to do unless he does some in this piece. Unless Happy does something crazy.
100%. I don't know.
You could get some extra priority if he ran Grassy Glide on his Ogerpon as well.
Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Any thoughts on that piece here? I know you're actually playing, so if you don't want to actually talk
I
about
don't
it
want to
at all.
spoil too much. Yeah, because I still like. I remember having found a solution for this matchup. I don't remember it anymore. It's been a bit. It's been like 4 weeks since I've played with the break in the middle some more. With against since I've played Castelia Hunters,
Mhm.
Hustlers.
And do
But
you even play
like,
Happy then?
yeah, I played Fair Pulse at the time.
Yeah, you played Purples.
So this is a different matchup because it's a different player. But like,
Yeah.
I think I can do it. It's just I'm not gonna spoil anything because I haven't prepped yet either.
I
Like
got
the
you.
I discovered like half an hour ago who I was playing in playoffs. So,
Sorry.
You're
but like,
supposed to play like
nah,
today
it's okay.
too.
It's probably the same thing as I said before. Lunala is a bag of tricks so big that you can
Yeah.
never know what happens.
Mhm.
Tornadoes is just put so much pressure. There's some gimmick picks that you don't have. You don't know what they're gonna do with them. Like there's some gimmick Pokemons in there that might be really good or really bad. Like you
If I'm,
never know until you
if
bring
I'm
them.
PR, I actually prep for the Aspara. What's it called? Slowking, for example. Or not
Slacking?
slowking. Yeah, slacking Aspara, for example, is something I would think about at least.
Yeah, I think
Keep it on the back burner at least. You know.
Happy is going into this matchup, and he's gonna have to have an answer to PCR, where Furples couldn't find one. And that means if you have to get cute, you have to get cute. But a win is a win, right?
I think he's gonna get real cute here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's gonna have to get real, like, up into the bag of tricks to beat PCR 3 times.
I think you are correct. I think it would definitely benefit Happy to watch some past replays and see really points of attack he needs to watch out for, you know? But In terms of Hustlers' keys to the games, I really gotta say, I think the biggest ones is going to be getting creative, because we saw it with Furple's replays. There's just not much counterplay into the Ho-Oh Maridon, and it really eats this draft's lunch just in general. Like, you want to get Zamazenta up, but Sacred Fire really stops it from doing anything it wants to, and especially in
Yeah.
that second matchup between Montenegro and Hustlers, we saw that this Zamazenta really can't do much if
I mean, what set
Ho-Oh's
was
on the
running?
field.
I think he could still run a body press set and get away with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why wouldn't he just run body press? If he just
Yeah.
ran-
I mean, he's a flying type, but he can get the other guy.
Yeah,
Unless they run a Ho-Oh and like something else that's good against fighting. But still,
I mean,
body
this
press.
body press hits so hard that even against a flying type, it'll still.
Yeah, I would run
Yeah.
body press 100% of the time actually, because like
The big thing is
fire.
gonna be like, will the Sacred Fire get the burn immediately or not?
I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
it's
Body press.
It's a 50-50. That
Yeah.
Sacred Fire almost always gets. the
Yeah,
burn. And
Yeah,
if it doesn't the first time, you're gonna have to take a second one too. Like,
yeah, it's not. It's
And,
not. It's a matter of when, not a matter of if.
we saw
Yeah.
it twice this season, right? Zamazenta doesn't do anything into Ho-Oh Sableye. That's just a lead that
Yeah,
stops Zamazenta. Because Zamazenta is not able to hit into that ghost type, and it's not doing anything behind Reflect Ho-Oh.
And you know what? I would. You were talking about the two halves of the game. Zamazenta here is a back half game player right now.
Oh,
For this-
100%. You have to take care of all those answers to Zamazenta. You have to get rid of Ho-Oh. You have to
Oh,
get rid of
You get one of
Sableye.
one of them. You get rid of one of them. If you can get the one of them down, you can still play with them at least.
Preferably, you just shut down Montenegro's Sableye, right?
Yeah, you get rid of the Sableye, and then you can play body press the rest of the game on all of the Ho's teammates.
Yeah, it's going to be a rough uphill battle for the Hustlers, and there's not that many keys to games that really comes to mind.
I mean, key to the game: kill one of those two, and you can play the rest of the game with body press.
yeah,
Easier
that's
said
definitely
than
the key,
done.
eliminate your.
And eliminate one Pokemon out of those two, and you can at least have a challenging game that you can maybe win.
Raging Bolt. Raging Bolt's gonna be his opener.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe a Raging Bolt like Thunderous. I was thinking.
Yeah, that's actually decent.
That's what I would.
Up sunny day.
Yeah, that's a good idea, for sure.
Because Ho likes to lead because he's got Regenerator.
You know what? No, run a rain set with thunder and stuff. I would think.
Yeah.
I would run a rain team here, honestly.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
think
gotta-
keys to games, y'all kind of already spit out what y'all think is keys to games.
Yeah.
I think Happy just needs to look inside and become a monk of some sort to figure out the answer, because it's a hard counter. PCR, I'm giving PCR, and this is leading to our pick'ems. I'm giving PCR the 3-0 sweep.
Okay. I'm actually giving him the 3-1 gentleman sweep. I think Happy can take a game if he plays smart, and I think Happy is a very smart player.
Yeah, he beat you.
Yeah, I know, but he also can take games. He can take games for sure. Yeah, out of 3, I think he takes 1.
Well, what about you, PCR?
I mean, I have to say I'm winning, at least this time. I'm not playing against Pevro where I can say I'm losing every time. But it's like, I look at the team and there's so many things that can go wrong. 3-2.
3-2, game 5. If it goes to game 5, I'll tell you what. That's a closest game 5 ever.
I'll give you the 3-1. I think it's really hard to get a 3-0 against anyone, honestly.
Yeah.
So to give him 1 game, 2 games is completely fair.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people. The only person I think I can get a 3 on anybody is Pevro. Right now.
I think
maybe Gamer.
Dakota hasn't been around in the server long enough, but he will be as cynical as me by the time he comes back on the podcast. I guarantee you.
Oh, you think 3-0s are easy to come across?
In this league, hell yeah.
I mean,
We see
Uh,
that
depends
like
on the
every
player. We don't-
time. It's more likely
don't-
than not.
Okay, no, we don't see a lot of 3-0 players left in the bracket though. That
Mm,
aren't against like Peverell.
I don't know. Maybe we're onto something.
Not
We'll
not
see.
not a lot of likely 3-0s except for like anybody against Peverell.
I'll get
I
back
mean,
to it in a
3-0s
week.
are still possible because, like, even if we go with like the projected bracket, like, there's some
It's-
games that are possibly 3-0.
Yeah, there's some games that are possibly, but it's not above a 50% chance of happening. You know?
Yeah, I
all
mean,
these
last
games-
season we had 2 3-0s and 1 3-1. Like, it was just nothing ever happened.
Yeah, well, last season was last season. Okay, last season, no, it was like a 6-player league. You know,
Yeah.
with a lot of like condensed, like it was a 4v4 as well, so people weren't used to it. I think that's one of the major reasons.
Yeah,
Mm,
fair enough. We might see a lot of 3-1s this season.
I'm
Uh,
fine with that though. I don't want to
Hopefully,
screw.
hopefully we get 1-3-2, 1 game 5 finally.
I'm looking for
I
our
think it'd be
first
fun
game
to see
5.
Spanish and Gamer go to Game 5 for sure.
Yeah, that would be the funnest
up,
game
yeah.
5 ever. I think.
Big rivalry, making it bigger. I love it.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty, so I think it's time we wrap up the episode. Any announcements for y'all?
Nope. None from
No.
me.
Alrighty. I
No,
think
we don't.
the only thing is playoffs are happening this week, so stay tuned in for round 1 of those. And
Yeah.
yeah, count of 3, we'll all say bye. 3, 2, 1. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.